What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. Hope everyone is doing very well, having a good Sunday. Premier League football might not be on this weekend. We've still got plenty to talk about, though. We've still got plenty of stuff. Manchester United, this ever-evolving news story.
I was waiting for you to let me drop a bomb. You didn't even welcome back to the United View. I was waiting.
And you KG. KG, of course, if you let me finish, I was going to say, welcome back to the Full View. Big up the panel. including this is what makes us a team, including Faz, KG, Mina with a Full View debut. Welcome, Mina. And of course, Marcel as well. Plenty to get into. Let's talk about Anthony Martial. We've got to talk about Martial. Yes. Martial has been on a bit of a madness this weekend, guys. I don't know if you've seen this. So Martial did an interview, and there are so many quotes we could get into. I want to highlight the big one. So he spoke about his relationship with the last few Manchester United managers, what's been going on with him the last few years at Manchester United. Spoke actually quite surprisingly, I thought, about his good relationship with Louis van Gaal. Called him a gentleman. Spoke about his not so great relationship with Jose Mourinho. Spoke about how Mourinho's a sly fox. He is a sly fox. He is, honestly, because Mourinho calls him up one day, goes, I think you should take number 11, mate. And Martial goes, yeah, but I'm number 9. So he goes, yeah, but you want to be number 11, Ryan Giggs, whatever. He went, nah, it's okay, it's cool. I'll still be 9. Comes back after pre-season. You're 11, mate.
Rubbish. I mean, what was even that?
So
what is this? Sorry.
Exactly. So he spoke about that and spoke about Mourinho talking about him in the press. Said, quote, he was talking about me in the press. He likes these games, but he also knows what he's doing with it. He knows I'm 20 years old then. And if I say something, it is I who will be the young person who lacks respect. He then spoke about being the top scorer in the second season, but then Mourinho brought in Alexis Sanchez. Barely played anymore. They missed out on the World Cup. He also spoke about playing under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He said the last 2 seasons I've played regularly injured. People don't know that. I couldn't accelerate during the 4 months following the COVID season. Solskjaer tells me he needs me, so I play. And then he also spoke about not obviously the reaction when he went to Sevilla last season, saying I took it very badly. I had a feeling of injustice. You asked me to sacrifice myself for the team, and then behind you, you're dismissed. For me, it's almost treachery. That's all I hate. I can be blamed, but not for being fake. He also spoke about people criticizing his body language, miserable Martial, saying basically I have to display my disappointment after a missed opportunity so people don't say, he doesn't really care. I'll tell you simply, I'm a footballer, not an actor. And he continues on. So pretty explosive stuff there, really. We'll start with you, Mina, since it's the debut on the Full View. What did you make of Martial's comments?
You know what? I think in all sports, I think football is the most conservative when it comes to players speaking out about, periods in their footballing career where they may have had struggles. I think we should normalize these kind of interviews, especially because I think the 2 years when Martial was playing injured regularly under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he was getting butchered by fans for the fact that he was, his mobility on the pitch was bad. He was not clinical in front of goal. He was missing chances. This whole time, he and many other players were playing injured under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Pogba was playing injured, Rashford, even Harry Maguire. I think I'm happy that he's cleared up some stuff with the injury stuff. And the parts about Jose Mourinho making him wear number 11 over wearing number 9, I'm not sure what sort of value that has. Maybe he wants to feed into the fact that, Mourinho did make it out like he was one of the issues in the dressing room alongside other players. So maybe he's trying to clear up stuff. I'm all for this. Even like the Dean Henderson interview when he went to Nottingham Forest. I'm all for players speaking out about things because I think it's important to have that transparency between fans and players that you don't tend to see in football.
KG, do you want to respond?
Sorry, I had a big reaction to that. You know what? I'm like from the Alex. I feel like I'm from the Alex Ferguson era. I don't like it. I think the dressing room's the dressing room, and it should stay that. Like we hear about how you feel about things at the end of your playing career. Sometimes I'm hearing like the Bailly thing. While it was cool to hear, it's like, why now? Even the Martial thing. I don't know if it's because there's not football being played and stuff, but again, why now? Some of these things need to be said when you're killing it, when you're in a good moment, when you're showing up, when you're doing like pulling up trees. Like if Martial came out and said after scoring, I don't know, 15 goals and like bare assists as I asked for,
that's the advice.
If he's done that, and said, and this is what happened, say, you know what? Fair enough. Like, it's good to hear this. But I feel like it's complaining before the big action. There's actions to be taking place. And it's like, I don't want to hear your gripes now because that's all that's there. You should be trying to prove, well, Mourinho wrong. Everyone that's doubted you, you should be trying to prove them wrong in this season. But you're talking from the injury table. It don't have the same, it don't hit the same. Again, when Henderson's talking about I'm the cage animal and then holding bare goals, again, doesn't hit the same. If you reclaim your shirt and you're the man now and you say, look what I've done, look, I've gone out and I've proved myself, it's totally different. So as I said, I'm not too keen on it. I hated when Pogba would go on international duty and do a madness, just say whatever. It's like, why do you not talk like this? As soon as you're outside of the walls in Carrington, like, it's annoying. But again, on some of the things he said, I think we should break down a few of the things he said, because some things you can say, you know what, changing the shirt number, that's bad mind, that's out of order. But having competition isn't. For me, I don't know what you lot think about that. But saying, the club bought another world-class player, mate, it's Man United. There's world-class players all the time. Like, you don't get to be here on your own. And especially imagine saying that and you're not fit. Insane. But that's my takes at the beginning.
Anyone care to respond to what KG's saying there, Marcel?
Nah, I 100% agree with him, guys. I mean, you know, at this time, it's the wrong timing. I think like it's the wrong timing. You're not playing and we need you to play. Availability is the best ability. He's not playing in the side. It doesn't make any sense to maybe come out and say anything now at this moment. It brings a lot of context to the type of Marshall that we had, though, because I remember last season me saying that he shouldn't be anywhere near the club. He's never going to be a 20 to 25 goal striker, 15 to 25. And I still have that sentiment. I just understand maybe a bit more towards how he was feeling at the time. Obviously, his injuries, him not being able to play at his best. But that doesn't do anything now. You're not available to help the team. I need players available to help the team. We're struggling right now on the forward line. So to have this moment now to complain, what does it actually benefit you or the squad currently playing? I don't know. So maybe the wrong timing.
Could you argue, Marcel, that it is an interview? It's not totally one-sided, Martial. He's not coming out and saying these things. He's being interviewed, asked questions, and all he can do is respond.
Yeah. So, yeah. And with that take, I definitely agree with you. Like, and Mina as well. Like, this should maybe be a little bit more normalized, but it's just the wrong timing, you know?
I don't think it's the wrong timing. Sorry, Marcel. The reason why I say that is he's injured right now. In order to understand why he's injured right now, he needs to explain the fact that he was playing 2 years under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a consistent injury, and he's literally been run into the ground. As a young footballer, when you're at the age of 23, 24, 25, we saw what Umtiti did, for example, when he literally risked his career to go to the World Cup with France. He won the World Cup. That's literally what he gained from it. But in that, he lost his agility, he lost his mobility, and he lost a big chunk of his footballing career now because he played through an injury. The difference is Martial ran himself into the ground for 2 years for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for us to win nothing. I think it's important for us to understand. We're a bit harsh now saying, oh, you're not available, you're injured. But we need to understand, why is he injured? Another example, even though Pogba has left, we need to Pogba's at Juve, he's injured. We need to understand why he's opted now to take a good 6 to 8 weeks out to recover from his injury, because he was playing injured for 2 years at Manchester United. Same thing with Rashford last season, decided to go for his surgery after a year and a half when he should have got that surgery, simply because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needed him to play. I think we need to understand, like, they're footballers, but they're people at the end of the day. Like, I can imagine the mental health impact it has on a player to be running your body into the ground at such a young age, and then having the fan bases and, you know, critics, pundits criticizing you because you're not playing 100%, but you are literally running yourself into the ground for this manager. I think there's like two ways to it.
Yeah, but there's been a whole preseason for this, though, Mina. There's been a whole preseason in place for this. That would have been the perfect time, where we also know that we needed a striker as well. He's played brilliantly within that period of time. Yes, 45-minute displays, Mina, but that would have been the perfect time. He hasn't played a Premier League fixture for us. What is going on? You know, he could, wait. It just doesn't look good. I completely understand the sentiment and where you're coming from with it. It's just the perfect time would have been preseason, when he was playing well, and we could have understood your condition, because obviously it would have been bothering him through then as well. So it's all about timing, and I feel like he's missed that trick. But again, like you were saying, Owen, though, I completely agree with a fact that, you know, he's been owning up to the things that he's been, like, he's said that he's not been playing well. He said that he, you know, his attitude is something that, you know, it's not something that he needs to work on, but he's, you know, people need to understand it a bit more. So there is a bit of a balance to it, but I feel like it's just the wrong timing.
Faz, what are your thoughts on this situation? You've
Tempo,
been
bro.
quiet for 10. Faz hasn't spoken for 10 minutes, which is alarming. Faz, what are your thoughts on the Martial situation?
Nah, I'm cool. I want to make sure I choose my words correctly before someone says something eloquent and then tells me to shut up. And
get
the whole
over
community.
yourself, bro.
On top of me.
Bit of advice, build a bridge, get over it.
Get over yourself, man. Come on, man. You're not still piping on about eloquence, bro. Speak your mind. Get involved.
Okay, so with the Martial situation, he's done the interview after the season has started, and he's been injured twice since the season has started. That's facts. Martial had once Ole left midway through the season and Ralf Ragnick came in, he did have an injury at that period as well. He could have gone and done an interview soon as the season ended to clear out what the situation was. He could have done this interview just as Ten Hag was coming in. Question to everyone is, stop thinking what you think about the interview. Think what Ten Hag thinks about the interview. Has the manager authorized this interview? Has the manager had a conversation with Martial and said, you know, it's okay for you to go and express yourself about the previous situation with other managers? We know Ten Hag doesn't like to talk about the past because he wasn't here. He makes it clear in all his press conferences, right? I think it's just the timing is not needed. Nothing is achieved by this interview. The only things that's achieved is him saying that one manager I didn't have the respect with. One manager ran me to the ground. But let me just clarify something. If a manager goes and buys a player and doesn't prefer you to play, there's nothing you can do about it. It happens in every club. Mourinho went and bought in Sanchez and benched you. Well, I'm sorry. It is what it is. That's how the world of football works. And on top of that, do you know who Jose Mourinho is? You're worried about the wrong shirt. You're worried about the wrong number. You should be worried about goal numbers, not the number 9 on your shirt.
No, that was still a disrespect, though, Faz.
Sure, I hear that. No, look, some players have.
And I think he's also saying, you know, where did it start? I don't think he's saying, oh, that was the only issue I had with Jose Mourinho. I think he said, well, it started with that, but also it involved with criticizing him in the press. Also it involved in, obviously, the fallout when he had the birth of his child and he was away for pre-season, and it's been disputed whether he was allowed to be away for that period of time. There's several complexities involved in it, is there not?
I appreciate that, and I think if he has a sentiment towards the shirt and he was somewhat disrespected by the way the shirt was taken out, there are also reports that Martial was texting Mourinho's daughter.
You can't say that, Faz, because I saw you put this on Twitter the other day, and I didn't know whether you're going to bring it up, but that clearly is, part of my language here, horse shit, because there is no... Do a Google search, Faz. One website.
Okay, maybe
you don't think some of the salacious tabloids in the UK, if they heard that, they wouldn't write about that? Isn't that not a concern that they haven't written about that? You've got to be careful what you say. Even
if you don't count that, Martial has had problems outside of the pitch with his personal life, etc., etc. It's just what I think our medical department didn't do a great job with him. They failed him in essence. They should have looked after him better. They signed him off clearly for him to be pitch ready, and Ole just kind of put the nail on the coffin and ended up that he played through an injury. But how many players nowadays actually play 100% fit? There'll always be some sort of niggling injuries, right? I think he said he wants to say that he has to sacrifice himself for the team, but he gets dismissed behind the scenes. I don't know what you're expecting. The sad part is Ole did, in essence, commit a crime. He shouldn't have played you if you're not 100% fit. But ladies and gentlemen, where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line between that's Ole's fault and that's you need to take some responsibility for yourself as well? Because it can go both ways. The manager said he needs you, but you also agreed to play. The medical department cleared for you to play, because if you're not able to play and the medical department cleared you, then it's a sackable offense, no? They can't clear you to play.
Hey, Ramsey.
No, I don't know about Ramsey.
But set pieces to
am I lying, Owen? Am I lying? Because reference Jose Mourinho, Tottenham Hotspur, Heung-min Son. All or nothing. Jose Mourinho asked the medical department in one of the episodes specifically to clear Heung-min Son because he desperately needs him. And the medical department says to Jose in that video that I can't sign him off because if the FA find out or if the PL find out, I as a doctor of this club will get sacked and I'll never be able to get a job again. And
Yeah,
you have to put reference.
That does happen. That does happen. But also, there are multiple instances of players playing injured. I mean, frankly, what I would say about Martial saying I was playing through an injury for 2 years is, 90% of football players, when they play, they're not fully fit because you can't be. You can't be when you play 2-3 games a week. You've always got a knock. You've always got something going on. I saw a clip the other day of Rashford where he shows up for international duty during the period of time where he had that foot injury and he played through a season. He could barely walk. Like, he could barely walk. And then I do think, to build on Mina's point earlier, is sometimes we do look at people like, say, Martial, constantly injured, but you do have to think, well, why is he constantly injured? And if you do play through an injury for 2 years, your body's broken down and you do sometimes irreversible damage. You do damage that surgery can't repair. How often have we heard of players throughout history, people like Michael Owen, right? Always injured, but that's because he played through injuries early on. By the time he was 26, 27, 28, he was done. Wayne Rooney even faded out pretty early,
Yeah, we ran him into the ground.
You play through an early age, you burn out. And I think it is important to sort of keep in mind with these Martial comments is that it's not Martial with a microphone just blurting this stuff out. There are questions that come first, i.e., you're injured a lot at the moment. What's going on with that? And him going, I've been playing through injuries the last few years and it's starting to catch up with me. Or like he said, I'm not immune to criticism. When people say I lack consistency, it's true. When I have my place, it often goes well. But when I've been used less, it's true my performance has not been the same. Basically saying, actually, I play better when I'm constantly playing, but I also lack consistency. And I think people sometimes look at the more salacious headlines, don't they?
Did he take a shot? Did he take a shot at Cavani, or was it just saying, "Look, I'm not like"?
About that,
he just said,
"No, it's not Cavani. It's praising his intensity every single time he comes on, whether it's breaks or games or not." Like I was saying, guys, normalize it. Yes, timing is everything.
When is the right time? When is the right time?
You could have done this during the preseason, Owen. You could have done this during the preseason, or you could do this in the period where you're on the pitch. When you're on the pitch,
that doesn't make sense because right now, I think,
at the same time he's running the game, doing an interview.
I don't get.
No,
I think right now,
come on. What I mean is, in a period of him playing.
I think he did the interview now because he's out and everyone's criticizing the fact that he's unable to be fit. So it's given an explanation as to why he's not fit at the moment. If he does it during preseason, where, to be honest, the whole point of preseason is to get your fitness up, that doesn't make sense.
Wait, are we accepting that he's not fit right now because of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Is that what we're saying? Because if that's the bar,
nah.
He's had hamstring issues.
Regardless of what it is, once he comes back, once God willing, when he comes back, Martial, you will have a ceiling of expectancy from us that you go and score 15 to 20 goals in the season and give us 10 plus assists. That's what I expect from you. You clearly have the Ballon d'Or clause for a reason. You clearly are the Golden Boy Award winner for the reason. You clearly got disrespected for a reason. And Ole Gunnar is not here anymore. Welcome to Ten Hag era, who has a style of play that you fit right into. So this is your make or break season. So I wish you all the best. And I look forward to eating my own words, #Martial out, because I just think it's time to move on from this kid.
Really?
I think it's time to move on. I don't want to go around in circles with a player that keeps on having history of injury. And I hope Ten Hag can put him on a training plan or something that he's done with Varane to keep this kid fit, and he has a amazing season, and we go and get top 4 and whatever. Yeah, I just hope he has a good time. But
I don't want to retread old stuff. But again, I do think it's important to say that you say, I want to have a player that's constantly injured or constantly has an injury, right? That was what you just said, yeah? So why was your thumbnail then on, when was it, Thursday, Bailly must return, or why won't Bailly back, whatever
it was, paraphrasing there. He did an interview as well, slandering.
Yeah, Bailly played 90 minutes for Marseille, came off the bench last game, looking like he'll continue to play. I'm watching Bailly as well. If Bailly continues to play loads of games and Martial doesn't, well, we'll be here, won't we, this time next year?
Yeah, we will. But again, it's difficult to say that now, isn't it? Like, can you understand why people would point out that
Sure,
difference.
I do, Owen. I do. And like I said, this time next year, we'll be sat here saying, you know what? Bailly messed up. The guy didn't play that many games. Or we'll say, you know what? Look at Bailly. The guy played so many games, had his contract triggered. Because if you play certain amount of games, you'll get, Marseille will buy you. And there you go. Or we'll be sat here thinking, well, Martial FC, what happened with you lot?
But what if Man United have a good season and we don't concede hardly any goals?
Good for Man United, no?
You know what?
Okay.
I feel like me, Marcel, and Mina should leave, and you guys should just do that.
We just walked in with something that we shouldn't.
We've got super chat. Super chat's got plenty in already. Red Baron says, "Has Faz and Sancho made up yet?"
No.
Wait, we'll say that. I missed it. I read in the super. Go on.
He said, "Has Faz and Sancho made up yet?" Because according to Faz, Sancho's prone to gaining weight.
Oh, I can't wait for this show. Let's go. We're gonna talk.
I want to hear more about that one.
Yeah, it's a long story. Lil Yo-Yo says Martial's misfortune equals all Eric Ramsey's fault. Red Baron says, this is to you, KG. KG, maybe us older United fans need to change, i.e. 28-plus-year-olds, because I try to keep an open mind in the way football changes. Thanks for the insight.
Yeah, maybe he's right. But then I feel like it was a lot of things were just kept in the dressing room. Like, and even that all or nothing thing, while it's good, I don't want it at our club. I don't want to see it. I do not want to see, because I don't think who's had a great all or nothing. I didn't watch the Man City one because who wants to watch that? But no one's looked good. You realize that Harry Kane can't do speeches. He can't get the troops ready for a game. And I'm hearing Arteta draws in another one. So it's like, I would hate to see what's going on in our club. I'd hate to have a look, especially when in a time when people said that Oli left his team in great shape.
Left in a great place. We all said it.
No, you didn't.
We did say it. I remember being on one of those post Ollie shows last year. Well, I know I definitely said it. So I'll hold my hands up.
If by the sounds of it, Henderson, Bailly, Martial, Wiley's hair still getting mad. A lot of these players are not happy. Jesse Lingard, and there was a lie to you by one man. One man told them everything's fine. No, it's not. Then run them into the ground. Rashford, the only thing that I feel sorry for Martial because, again, he didn't have the same PR that Rashford had. We knew that Rashford was injured, and he was still trying to play for us. So it looked like, oh my God, he's dying for the badge. We never knew Martial was injured trying to play for us. That would have been good information to come out, and he was playing with an injury. We just think as soon as he's injured, he just goes missing for 4 months.
Super chat from Waiting for United to win a trophy says, the One Piece is real. Can we get much higher? What is that in reference to, KG?
Sorry, what's that? Say it again.
The One Piece is real. Can we get much higher?
I don't know.
Do you have any clue what that means?
No.
Okay.
I stopped watching One Piece. I'm waiting for more.
So you do know what it is. So you do know what it is about?
No. Or no, I don't know if it's the one he's took. Oh yeah, I do.
Do you know why? Because I saw that super chat and I did a little Google search. I thought I'll double check what this is, and I saw it was an anime thing. So that's why I threw it specifically to you. And you went, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because at first I was like, but I haven't got that far. So, but they're looking for
Red Baron says 100% facts from Mina on Martial. I think there is a macho mentality in football where we can bottle up all emotions. And Andil says, but Faz, the medical department have been failing many players at United. Rashford literally played without a back and they kept clearing him, basically saying the fitness department of Manchester United has been terrible anyway. And Blue Dabba Dabba says, Eric Ramsey injured Martial, saw it on a local newspaper in Uganda on the internet, hashtag Eric Ramsey out. A local newspaper in Uganda on the internet. Amanor says, Faz, you are Mr. Inconsistent. Come on, bro. And Blake the Third is the latest member of the UV Members Club. You can join the Members Club by clicking the link in the video description. It's also the pinned comment in the live chat. You get your badges, emojis, and exclusive members-only content. Shuvim says, everything Jose said has turned around to be right about Pogba, Shaw, Martial, and Rashford. 3 trophies and 81-point finish is not respected enough. Jose could have won us the Premier League had he been backed in the last season. And Andil says, KG, please talk about how little space Ten Hag gave players to do press in pre-season. No chance to talk then. I suspect Ten Hag gave the green light on this one. Is that fair? Can you give us insight as to Ten Hag's sort of
Ten Hag is
leash?
Ten Hag's running things. As he said, he gets the games 2 to 3 hours early. He stares at things for no reason. He's in control. The guy's he's in full control. There's not going to be an interview, even when he's talking to the press officers and all the people involved with that side of Man United. They're like, he wants to know everything. He wants to know who's talking, who's doing what. And if something happens where he didn't allow, nah. Not on Ten Hag's watch. Again, this might not have been something linked to the club. I don't know if this was an international. Did he do this interview in France? Where did he do this interview?
France,
was it?
yeah. It's with
I
France.
think it was
Yeah,
in
there
France.
you go. I don't think his powers are stretched
Extend that far.
Yeah, extend that far. But again, he's in control. Like Ten Hag is trying to build something different, and you can tell that Ten Hag's not trying to think about last season. So I understand the point that Faz brings up as well. Like, again, and even Marcel at times, it's like, even what Mina does say, you know what, when's the right time? But we can't do anything about that. We can't do anything about anything that's happened before. We have to move now. And unless you're saying that you're only injured now because Oli didn't play you enough under his regime, if that's an argument, it's a stupid one. It's horrible.
Let's talk about Marcus Rashford. Rashford's been brought up in that whole injury discussion there.
Can I say something? Can I say something a bit reckless?
Go on. Well, of course.
Yeah, go on.
Of course.
All right. So again, it's one of them John Wick opinions. That's what we're going to call it. You know, when John Wick got all the guns on him, there's a picture of John Wick. He's got guns on him.
I've seen the picture.
There you go.
Never seen the films.
Here you go. I think Marcus Rashford should be given a new contract immediately. Let's go.
Anyone want to pick up that?
Let's go. He's ready to have a conversation and he's ready to go at it.
You've been compromised. The Glazers have got to you. Glazers have got to you.
Go on, let's have it. I'll tell you why.
Listen, I'm sure you bought that Man United top from the mega store.
I didn't get this from the mega store.
From the Adidas shop, yeah? Where'd you get? Now you're compromised.
No,
Wait, should we go? Let's go.
You've been Glazers in since the tour, innit? You've been Glazers
Let's have a
in
conversation.
since the tour.
I'm willing to have a conversation. I'm willing to battle. I'm willing to go into this. Let's go. Who wants
say why you think that, KG? Can you just
I was crazy.
agree that he should stay with the club now?
Do you know why?
Do you know what I'm saying? Maybe he should go, but I think he should. He has a place within the club. So why do you think what you think?
Do you know what I'm saying? Basically, at Man United for a very long time, we haven't managed players' contracts correctly. Yeah, players going into their final 2 years, it shouldn't happen, especially with up and coming youth, whatever products and stuff. Now, even if Rashford's not the thing, you're not protected in this situation. I know a lot of you lot are saying, look, let Rashford, we wait until he starts playing well and then say, hey, Rashford, here's a new contract. It's a very dangerous game. And when a guy's in his last year of his contract, yeah, and if say someone like Rashford walks away from this club for free, it's a travesty. Pogba's walked away for free because, again, we didn't manage it. There's so many players that have walked out for free. You can't get minimum. You can't get 30 million for Rashford. I think that's wrong. I think if you're talking about homegrown, and I know this is I know what I'm saying is mad, but again, these are the same things that we're going to cuss in 2 years' time when Rashford walks out as a free agent and he's negotiating with a club in January. Yeah, again, we're in that situation when we have to extend to buy. You know, when you can extend it without him saying yes. The same happened with Pogba, and we'll just keep seeing it. It'll keep on happening. And what happens if it turns into a Herrera situation when we finally offer him a contract, but he's like, mate, it's too late. What happens now? And now you're in a predicament. I don't think players of that age, of that young age, should be not secured in a long contract. That's my thing, sis. For me, it's, again, protecting the club's assets and players not getting for free. I don't like it. Man United always made sure when the player was into this type part of their contract, it's sorted. I've never seen us, but if you notice, over and over again, free. It's wrong. That's why I'm saying it. Thanks.
Anyone care to respond? Mina, what do you think? What about what KG's just said?
Yeah, I don't think after 2 good games you go and throw a new contract at Rashford. Don't get me wrong. I want Rashford to do well at United, yeah. But I think the fact that he's a Carrington kid kind of gives him a disadvantage over other players such as like Martial. Because if this was Martial in this situation, we wouldn't be talking about KG wouldn't be saying Martial needs to get a new contract. We can't let him leave on a free. And I get the whole sentiment of not letting players leave on a free because it's better to actually sell them and get some sort of value for them, given the fact that Rashford came up through the academy, so we didn't really pay much money to buy him. But the thing is, Pogba leaving, for example, on a free, I think is a bigger loss for us at the moment because
Twice.
but particularly this time, Pogba leaving on a free compared to if Rashford left on a free, there is a lot of strikers in the market right now, like young strikers, up and coming strikers, people that we could easily bring in to replace Marcus Rashford. Bear in mind, there's a World Cup like in November, and that's when you tend to find new talents, like new people come popping up. There is no way that I think United would let Rashford go and we wouldn't be able to find a striker on the market. So I think comparing it to Pogba is a bit harsh because of the specific player profile that Paul Pogba is. Now, if you're saying give him a contract just to tie him down so that we can get value for him at a later date, I agree. But if you're saying to give him a contract solely because he's a Carrington kid and that we should tie him down because he's young and he's got like 3-4 years, Chelsea right now are doing this new long contract thing with their young players. You know, they just gave James a 6-year contract. I don't see Marcus Rashford ever getting a 6-year contract at Manchester United. That keeps him here till 30. I don't think we're going to get the best out of him after the age of 26, 27. So if they've got, I think, the option to extend his contract for 1 more year. So come January, he probably won't be negotiating with other teams. Don't get me wrong, the way United handled the whole contract situation is blasphemous. Like, I think it's crazy. But at this stage, I don't think he deserves a new contract. I think we should wait for a significant time of the season to go by because he might still be carrying these injury problems that he was out for last season, that he got surgery for. Why would you want someone on a 3-year contract extension when they're probably going to miss about half of those 3 years because they've had a serious injury before? I think it goes like 2 ways.
Marcel, what are your thoughts? You asked KG to explain himself. He explained himself. Are you happy with his explanation?
Yes, a little bit, but I actually feel like this player has attributes that can benefit the team. I know Faz went and said Martial out, but I think having a list of strikers that include Rashford and Martial, Anthony and Sancho, and in my opinion, I'm going to say another John Wick thing, we need to get Harry Kane in the squad because having that list of footballers a part of the team makes us an elite footballing side that will be able to challenge and get closer to the Premier League. I think Harry Kane's perfect with the likes of a Marcus Rashford and a Bruno Fernandes in there. So having Rashford in there, breaking lines with his breaking line runs, always looking beyond the back four, the opposition back four. I think you kind of need him in there. When you consider what Mina's saying and the fact that there is other players in the league, in world football that can do that job and that you can look into the market for other strikers, I would take that and consider that. But I think Rashford is a Carrington kid. And I think he's someone that, you know, is understands what it means to play for this club. So I would definitely have him at the club still.
Wait a minute. Okay, maybe I started something right now, but Harry Kane, you just said that and just started moving into other bits of the conversation. Like,
I love with Marcel. It's the 1-2 punch, but you never see it coming. You never see it coming with him. It's just constantly, and we should get Harry Kane. Wait a minute. What?
I think I don't know what I'm considering. Having Rashford means that you need another type of striker in the team, and Harry Kane's the perfect striker for this club, I believe. So I'm just saying, you know, it's important to have another striker in there that can break lines like Rashford, or even on the wide areas he can play. And then someone like Harry Kane, someone like Bruno Fernandes. I think all of these type of players will work well together.
Faz.
Yeah, Faz, care to respond to what Marcel said?
Not just the Marcel thing. Can you respond to my Rashford take again? Just to, for some clarity, if you need it, I'm not giving Rashford a new contract purely because of the last couple games he's played. I'm giving him a new contract because it's in the last 2 years and it's dangerous. I think it's dangerous with our players like this, and it's a thing that we're going to cry about and be on super Glazers. Well, already Glazers out, but it's going to be a Glazers out. Look, and we done to Rashford's contract. Glazers out. It's like, no, let's protect ourselves. Oh, go ahead.
I think you and Marcel are having network issues. For my people who obviously watch my streams, they know what network issues mean. You're having mad network issues today. Harry Kane, me and Marcel are going back and forth on Twitter. Not back and forth, but we do our thing on Twitter about the Harry Kane situation. But listen, what I'll say is a new contract is exactly what we don't need. But I do not mind a contract extension. He has a 1-year extension, if I'm not mistaken, Owen, is still active. That could be triggered. Trigger that 1-year extension. Let him finish the season on a high. If the player wants to stay in Manchester United, for example, the players in Barcelona who are going and taking pay cuts left, right, and center to play for Barcelona, if he really wants to play in Manchester United, believes in Ten Hag, clearly there's a relationship there, he will stay. His brother can entertain and have dinners with PSG and other clubs all they want. But if the player wants to stay, he wants to stay, and his loyalty will be here. My issue is our wage structure. I do not want to go and pay any player 300 plus on a new contract based on nothing. I think performance-led bonuses should be what is put in place going forward. Ten Hag has clearly brought in the likes of Anthony, Martinez, Malacias, who are nowhere near 200,000, and they're definitely proving their worth right now. And I think it should be no different for other players, unlike obviously Varane's and those kind of players who are absolute legendary in the position that they're playing in. That's a slightly different conversation. But with Rashford, for the age, for what we expect from him, I think it should be a performance-related contract extension. So extend this contract based on what he's earning now. Do not give him anything more. I'm not going to compare and say, oh, but look at Salah, what happened to Salah, and etc. Those things can happen to anyone. Look at Bruno. Bruno got a contract extension and he's performing like this. He's still doing his thing bit by bit. I just think I don't want to break our wage structure. That's my most.
We don't have to break. I don't think we don't need to break our wage structure. But guys, he's 24. Like,
that's okay, but he's got a 1-year extension. Trigger that extension, let him finish the season, and then we'll discuss. Football is the most important thing. He won't go anywhere.
It's dangerous. Players getting to the last. We never did it with the bigger players. Players getting to the last year of your contract. You're walking on eggshells. You're not saying.
I understand, but
players are saying, you know what? I'm gonna run it down because what the main thing is that signing on bonus somewhere else is a sweet one. I look at the world for me becomes incredibly nice. I just got to wait out a year and I have super options, not just a few, many options. That's the situation right now. And
you're right. You're right that players can run their contracts down and go to somewhere, especially someone like Marcus Rashford, who's young, who's very talented, who's doing his thing right now, and who has lots of bags of potential. But we can't be Manchester United and thinking, oh my God, Rashford might leave. No, we are Manchester United. Anybody can leave. We are Ten Hag army. Anybody can leave. There's Ivan Toney's out there. There's Osimhen's out there. There's loads of talents that Ten Hag and his team can go and find. Marcus Rashford isn't the only God-saving forward.
No, he's not. But then the pushback is this, and you lot can get involved in this one. But when the club's saying that, and obviously this is in the Glazer regime, right, which is shit. Excuse my language, right? But it's horrible. Yeah, you got you're saying to yourself, the Glazers want to sell players so then they can make the money back. Some people argue the Ghana sell was literally them trying to do some level of balance in the books. So if you're letting players go out if you're not getting maximum price on players, it affects the business that you can do after. So yes, there's world-class strikers out there. Can we bring them in if we're not making money? If players are walking out for free, again, we could have made so much. The Jesse Lingard money, how much did Everton thingy offer us in January? We didn't take it. Goes for free. That's insane. There's many times when players should have been even Henderson was offered a fee before. We didn't take it. It's Man United, and you think that could have been a striker. That could have been a new player. Man United need to get that contract with the young players, I think, and it's not like bumper deals, because you can say, well, listen, this is all you're gonna get because you haven't done anything right now. Yeah, you want to stay at this club, you're comfortable here. Well, this is how much we're offering you. Maybe we'll offer you a 5% pay increase, but that's all you can't ask them more than that, because what have you done? I think that you get that thing, you say, well, I'll sign this 5 years, and then at least you're more protected than being in a situation that shows Rashford that We see you part of the long term, but if it doesn't work, big man, you can go and we're going to get top dollar fee.
Rashford's already been getting just the last one. Rashford's already been getting a lot of money for what we've been getting from him. That's just facts. There's players like Heung-min Son who's been killing it for a few years, having a bad season right now. But yeah, Rashford's been getting a lot of money. I think we can't just be thinking of, well, he might go on a free, so we should tie him in a contract down. We also do know players and agents, how they work with Manchester United. If they want a 5-year deal, they want a lot of money. They do. We've got issues with trying to get rid of players. We've got 9 players that might be scheduled to leave next year. 9 players.
Delors, I think, is one of them. I think Delors one. What I would say is he's coming into his prime, guys. Like you were saying about age, KG. He's coming into his prime, and a 1-year extension that I think we can actually utilize right now is something that we should do and look at it at a later date. Let's see what we can do under a proper manager like Ten Hag. And see what he can produce for us. And I understand that kind of level of where it's at right now.
Cool. Let me get to these super chats and we'll go back to the original point with Rashford. Amador says, Mina, you are an inspiration. There you go. Big up, Mina. Says, Shubham says, Ollie set us 10 years back with his favoritism. Shubham also says, Ollie created a toxic atmosphere by lying to players. WJ Barrett says, facts, KG, sign him up now, no brainer. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Lil Yo-Yo says, Mr. Kevin Glazer, Rashford should earn his deal. Waiting for United to win a trophy says, does Mina have better ball knowledge than Cam? Thinking emoji. Chawukma says, irrespective of our sentiment about Rashford, he deserves a new contract. He's the most productive forward we have at the moment. 5 goals and assists in 7 games. Shubham also says, Rashie only effective in a counter-attacking system. PSV 96 says, rubbish. What was even that? Is that on the soundboard anymore?
Of course. Rubbish. I mean, what was even that?
WJ Barrett says, I'm telling you, the striker market is dead. Sign him. And Chimera says, who's going to feed the kids, KG? And Lil Yo-Yo says, the reckless Kool-Aid is being passed around today. First Faz, then the return of reckless KG, and now Marcel. Please never change, guys. Choco Page says, all on the... I don't know if he means hopium, but he's missed off the H. So he said opium. I hope not. I hope not.
Yeah.
That would be a strange panel. Shubham says, Man United will keep Rashie because of his brand and PR. And finally, WJ Barrett says, waiting for Rashford to fire before we sign is madness. This new generation player will run that contract down. If he doesn't want to play for the club, he can leave. Nah. That era is done. Sign him. What I was going to say, I'll start with you, Mina, is that the story from the Telegraph today is saying that Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho are both set to be recalled to the England squad. Of course, they missed out on quite a few squads towards the end of last season because of their Manchester United form. Do Rashford and Sancho deserve a spot in Southgate's squad?
I think Rashford does. I think the argument for Sancho is a bit... Maybe he offers something different to Southgate than, the other players that could have been called up, like the Jared Bowens and the Jack Grealishes. I don't know why Sancho is getting called up. I would be shocked to see him on a flight to Qatar in November. But I think Marcus Rashford, based on, the past few games, which is, I guess, what he's basing it on, I understand why he's calling Marcus Rashford up. But Sancho, he's not been looking that great.
I mean, the thing is with Sancho, the strange one is that he still has got how many goals and assists in the last few games in the United's winning run? What is it?
Yeah, I think it's two goals, 2 quality goals, 2 team goals. And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of Sancho, and I think he had a difficult season last season coming in his debut year with United, and I want him to do well. And I think a lot of people criticize him because of how much he earns and the price tag that he got brought in for, the fact that United were chasing him for 2 years before they actually signed him. I'm happy to see him go, but I want him to pick up pace for United. And I don't know what the bar is for him at United, because he's had such a poor debut season. Is what is it? 10 goals and 10 assists. Is that the bar for this season? If he goes to England, is he even going to play? Does he even fit into Southgate's formation or this? I don't know. I don't understand Southgate sometimes. He don't make sense to me 99% of the time. But I don't know if he's taken him just for the sake of taking him. Because people like Maguire, their positions are always guaranteed with England, no matter how they're performing at club level. That's not the same for Sancho and Rashford. So what benefit is it them going?
Fact, big fact.
Yeah, Marcel, what do you think? Does Sancho and Rashford deserve a call up? Just Rashford, or what do you think about Sancho as well?
Well, you guys have already spilled my agenda on the Rashford Kane situation, so I definitely think
There is no situation.
no, but it's gonna work if Rashford gets into that side on the left side. So I definitely think Rashford, and he's performed in big games for me. You know, Liverpool and Arsenal, he's performed in both of those games. So I would like to see him part of the England side. Again, I agree completely with Mina. I mean, Sancho was a bit of an unknown entity in terms of what. Yes, it's something different from Bowen, from Saka even. His creativity is immense when he's playing on game, but has he really produced for Manchester United? I want him to start producing for us. Let's see what happens though if he does get in. But I know Marcus Rashford for me definitely should be part of that England side.
KG, you just said that Sancho deserves a new contract. Does he deserve? Oh,
No,
no,
I said
Rashford.
Yeah.
Rashford deserves a new contract. Does he deserve to be in the squad? What about Sancho? You had a bit of a grin when Mina was talking about Sancho.
Yeah, no, because I like the fact that as soon as Martial gets fit, God willing, hopefully everything that you can say to help someone get fit, the fight for the left-hand side is going to be exciting. And I believe Sancho's going to benefit of having a fit Rashford fighting for that left-hand side, because again, there is bits where we say sometimes you're going to have to say to yourself, well, why is he playing over me? Because I do believe that Ten Hag will start Rashford ahead of Sancho. Now, a lot of people say, oh, how can you say that? Well, you've seen how he's been with Rashford. Press conferences, always arm around him, always talking him up. So he's going to be an important player for Ten Hag, if you like it or not. I know some people are really upset with the Rashford that performed last season and all the stuff that's come before, and the PR, and he represents a funny era in Man United. But our manager really likes him, and he's the other part about him is he's incredibly direct, and he will listen. You're playing. That's it. Like, you can't fight. And so now with Sancho, what Sancho offers is, yes, he's probably the coolest in front of goal. He can create opportunities, and his opportunities are not like he knows what he's doing. Everything that Sancho's doing on the ball, he actually knows how to do it. Like, it's not one of those things where you see Rashford do something, you're like, he's just ran through, like, and just been lucky in that situation, where I think a lot more Sancho's movement is deliberate, but he's going to have to force that aggressive side of his game, which at this point, I don't think he has yet. And I believe that when we signed Sancho, I thought we're signing our new talisman, and I believe that's what he's here to be. So he has to, when Mina's talking about where's the ceiling for me, or where's the bar for Sancho, it's incredibly high for me. I'm expecting, like, save us. You know what I mean? We be the Salah for us, even though Salah's not doing that this season, but be that for us, because you came here.
That's a high bar.
You got a number 7 shirt, guys. What are we talking about is a high bar. This guy was going to wear the number 7 shirt. Remember, the only reason he didn't get it is because Ronaldo's back. So this guy was coming with Sancho number 7 on the back. Now, anyone that wears that shirt, as we know, is meant to do that, or unless that doesn't mean that anymore. No.
Well, do you think he can be the Salah for Manchester United? Do you think he even has that in his locker?
You have to tell me now. when I saw the compilations from Dortmund, I thought, oh my goodness. When I saw the guy that left Man City early, went to play football in Germany, and now joins Man United, and we chased him for so long. So what we expecting? We expecting just a basic meaty guy. We paid a lot of money. I'm hoping for a world beater. Or no? Is it wrong to expect a world beater when you pay over 70 million? No, and I know it's crazy, like, but I'm expecting like a real super player. No? Maybe I'm wrong.
I agree.
So, Marcel, why do you agree? Go on.
I agree. Sancho's meant to be a top level player, and I was expecting him. He's young. There's inconsistencies with young players. We have to put that into context. But I'm expecting him to kick on with his career and start to show in the Premier League. He went to other leagues to develop his game, cultivate his game. We've seen that he's of that caliber in those other leagues. Now come into the Premier League and do it. JS7, I think, will give him the confidence. and the belief that he can start more games and get the fitness together. But he's got so much more developing to do. I think Ten Hag's the guy for that. I think Ten Hag's the perfect manager to get this new level out of him. But I 100% agree. Our expectations should be high. Maybe not Salah, because Salah's so productive in front of goal. I don't think he's obsessed with scoring goals like Mo Salah, but the assists and the double figures assists and double figures of goals should be his target every season.
Faz, what do you think about Sancho and Rashford getting into the England squad and this Sancho discussion here?
I think Rashford definitely should get his call up. He's had a terrible situation with his injury. He's started to find his form. He's scoring goals. He's been clinical. He's been crucial for us in this squad. It's time for him to get his call up, and rightly so. With Sancho, Saka still has one above Sancho at the moment. I think with Sancho, there's a conversation to be had between him and Bowen. Does it make sense? When I'm seeing Bowen in England squad, it doesn't make sense at all to me. Like Mina said before, sometimes I don't understand Southgate. Sometimes I think Southgate is our savior, but that's Southgate for you. But in general, Sancho is not that guy right now. When I initially started this conversation, people said, well, he's just scored. How can you be so critical on a day he's just scored? Well, you guys will slowly start seeing that he starts his season slow. He's not the player that he was in Dortmund. He's still young. He has loads of room to develop. And I'm hoping Ten Hag can find a way to develop his style of play. But when we originally bought him, he didn't really look like he needed developing. He was actually running the show back in Dortmund. We said that he needs a target man to play with him. He's had ample amount of time in Manchester United. We've given him time. But for the amount of money we paid and for him earning £287,000 a week, it is a lot of money. He's actually on 350, but because of the 25% reduction in wages, it's 287, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a lot of money to be paying for someone who takes 4 steps back when 9 of your players are taking sprints forward towards the opposition goal. It's a lot of money to be paying for someone who doesn't smash into 50-50 challenges and pulls out. Numbers will lie, can tell you a lot of things, but can also lie. He scored some goals, but that doesn't mean he's having an incredible season. So I don't think he deserves to get his England call up, and I think he really needs to make a statement this season.
Mina.
No, I would. The special like on the like button, by the way, guys. We've got over 1,500 people watching, not even 500 likes yet, so we can get 500 likes before we end. But speaking of people, actually, James Sancho, I did see that. Yeah, he's on there. It said no respect. No respect. He's been dropping a couple of comments in as well. When you were talking about being that guy, he said, I can be that guy. He's also got some strong words about Gareth Southgate, saying Southgate is just another shit Ollie Solskjaer. He's come on, James Sancho this evening. I did want to talk about Luke Shaw before we have to wrap things up. We've got about 10 minutes or so left.
Did Mina give her opinion on it?
I was the first.
Yeah,
Can I just say though, but one thing about Sancho, specifically when it comes to United, I don't know if Ten Hag's going to warm up to him the later the season goes on. I think if Martial gets fit, I think Rashford's getting that left-hand side, and I think Anthony is staying on the right. I don't think Ten Hag would ever brought in his man to play on the right if he had 110% faith in playing Sancho on that side.
I think that is fair. Like KG did say earlier on, I think that fight for that left-hand side, it's a good thing for United to have options. You know what I mean? That's not a bad thing for United to have whatsoever. Speaking of England as well, a person who's been playing a lot for England last few years, scored, of course, in European Championship finals, Luke Shaw. This season's lost his slot to Real Malacia. And it was reported today by Samuel Luckhurst that Luke Shaw is struggling with a foot injury that has sidelined him for 2 of Manchester United's last 3 games. Shaw, by all accounts, was in line to start against Real Sociedad, but did not participate in Manchester United's open training session the day before. It is understood Shaw's injury is believed to be minor. KG, do we need to keep up the same energy when it comes to Luke Shaw that we do for other players about when they're injured and their fitness record?
Listen, I'm totally done with Luke Shaw. And generally, I've been done since last season. I'm done. He's supposed to be a senior figure at the club. I've just not had what you've needed from Luke Shaw. This has been the story of Luke Shaw's career. And unfortunately, when he is fit, it's just kind of fraudulent, to be honest. Like I'm sick of it. Is the best way to break it down, because now you're gonna see Luke Shaw will come in, and really try to raise his game with the rise of Malacia being being there on the left-hand side. And you'll start to see things from Luke Shaw and say, mate, what the hell is that? Like, I haven't seen this in you. And then now you start to say to yourself, he was only, the reason why we got a big reaction from him before was because Mourinho was piping off. Then Mourinho goes silent, and then Shaw just goes back to he needs that someone questioning him, but you can't do that. I need, when my senior pros, which Luke Shaw is, he's been here the longest out of a lot of people in the squad, my senior pros need to be self-motivated. Unfortunately, I just haven't seen that from him. And I'm ready to, again, Malacia showing a lot of these guys up. So I'm willing, like, if it happens, and when's his contract expiring? Is it soon?
Next
I
year.
wouldn't
I think
even.
it's this year.
This year? It's cool. He can leave for free. I don't even need the like 5-6 million. Nah, man, he can go, man. Because again, it's been stop-start. The whole thing's been stop-start. The Luke Shaw before the injury, that the Memphis Luke Shaw, that was an exciting Luke Shaw. Again, after the injuries, he just hasn't returned to that big play. He never reached the potential, unfortunately. Sorry.
Marcel, what do you think about the Shaw situation with his another injury? Lost his spot to Malacia. Even, let's face it, last season wasn't playing well. Lost his spot to Tellez at points last season, and Tellez is gone now. So, what are your thoughts on Shaw?
8 years or so. I think it's an 8-year stint at a tenure at Man United. And only produced maybe half a season of quality. Malacia looks hungry. Malacia is on what, 30, 40k, a lot less. You know, so he's being displaced by a young, hungry fullback that wants to prove that he's going to be the left back for the club. You can just see that Luke Shaw doesn't look good enough. He just doesn't look good enough. And there's a Fernandez, a younger fullback that right now is on loan, that I think is ready to come in and take that spot, that second, that backup left back, fullback spot. So, you know, we need better players than Luke Shaw right now, and he's just not committed. I don't think he's not fit enough. He's not available enough. Mourinho said this. You know, we were just talking about a lot of things that Mourinho said has come true, and that's one of them.
Yeah, Faz, do you think Mourinho was right about Luke Shaw when he criticised him? I mean, talking about Martial, like Mourinho had a field day criticising Luke Shaw in public, even when he wasn't the Manchester United manager. What are your thoughts with Shaw at the moment?
Yeah, goodbye. Thank you for everything you've done. See you later. Good luck. I don't know where you're gonna end up, but I hope you can play some minutes there. You went on international duty and you had the audacity to say you want to feel wanted. When Manchester United gave you 5 years with a 1-year extension at 150 grand a week, you didn't feel wanted. There is some sort of respect that we clearly owe you when you're not fit. Malacia, a kid who's not played with Ten Hag, a kid who people call his league Farmers League, has just come in and set the league on fire, just pocketed Salah, just had a good game against Saka. Yeah, Saka got the better of him, whatever. Plays every single game with his heart and soul, plays for his family. And you're looking at that, and you know what? I think you're crushed. I think you're looking at that and you're crushed. You're crushed that your career's ended that way. And there's a lot of players in Man United who are crushed, looking at Martinez, looking at Eriksen, looking at Malacia, and thinking, Lord, have mercy on me. Good luck to you, because you're going to need it wherever you go. I hope you can do something with the rest of your career, but it ain't in Manchester United. I'm done with you a long time ago.
Stinging words from Faz there. Do you think they're justified, Mina, what Faz is saying about Luke Shaw?
Yeah.
Are you done with him as well?
Yeah, I've been done with him. I think even Luke Shaw been living off his England performances when it comes. He's like Maguire. He's literally living off his performances for the national team. Since he's broken his leg, I don't think he's ever been the same. I think he came in as this young player that we all had high hopes for, this new English left back. He broke his leg, unfortunate, and I think it was just downhill from there. He's had probably, I think in the last 6 years specifically, I can think of probably like three performances that were like 10 out of 10 performances. Tellez came in, he started playing, heart on his sleeve, like running around like a little pit bull on the pitch. And then suddenly he got comfortable in his position. And this just further proves the point of Eric Bailly saying that, players get consistent game time in the squad because of their nationality. I think if this was a player like Alex Tellez was having a poor run of games and he was immediately benched and did not sniff the starting lineup again, I think if that was the instance of another left back, the same thing would have happened. Quite a few managers that have managed United since Luke Shaw have been very critical of him. If one manager is critical, that says something. But if it's multiple, I think there's something that has to be looked at that point. I won't miss him if he leaves, and the door can hit him on the way out.
I think the thing is with Shaw is he is very similar to a lot of players at Manchester United over the last 5 or 6 years in that he has a complete inability to deal with pressure. When was Shaw's best season? When nobody was in the stadium. Like that just, and again, that sums up Manchester United, isn't it? A lot of one of our best recent seasons when nobody was really watching, right, in person. And once the pressure comes back on, injured, that happens, you know. And I do agree with what people have been saying about Luke Shaw. Like, you know, you have to keep the same energy that you keep with other players when it comes to his injury record. His injury record's shocking. And sometimes you do kind of write off the broken leg that amount of time because someone broke his leg. You know, that's unfortunate. But after that, it is a case of Luke Shaw. It's bad foot, out for 3 games, come back. I got a bit of a tight calf. I'm out for another 3 games. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. And when does enough become enough? Because he's on a big deal at Manchester United, and you've got someone like Malacia comes in who's on a fraction of what he's on, and he's playing better. It's not even really arguable who the better player is at the moment. And also, Malacia's personality, and not only is he what he's doing in his position, but his personality spread across the team. It's spread across the entire back four. You know, that aggression, that passion, that want to win, that want to make tackles, challenges, keep clean sheets. That's spread across the back four. I'm saying Malacia is totally responsible for that. I think Martinez, Varane, Dalot, De Gea, they're all responsible for all of it. But Malacia is a spark in that team. Is Luke Shaw a spark? He's not. At this point, he's not, and he's going to struggle, I think, to get back in, and especially after missing that Europa League game. Don't know where his next game's going to be. Let's get these super chats out before we wrap things up. Anthony says Jones offered a new 5-year contract, longest-serving player, 150k a week legend. Jones planning on staying with United until he's 50. Zayn Miassi, Zayn's popped his head back up because Arsenal won a game. So mum's credit card's right back out saying, KG, this is to you, KG. KG, you bought the wrong Brazilian. Did you see Marquinhos' goal? He cost 30 times less than Anthony. Oh. Sancho is also in Martinelli's shadow. Care to respond?
All I'm saying is our player will have a better career than that Marquinhos kid. He'll probably be sold, you know what I mean? He'll probably be like another one of the strikers that, Arsenal pick up and then suddenly gone. Like, what happened to them?
And Zayn is the same Arsenal fan that will say Edu did a masterclass because none of his Brazilians got picked for the national squad.
That is hilarious, isn't it? Literally.
Edu masterclass.
And wouldn't the Brazil manager come and watch them as well? He came to watch them and didn't pick any of them. But it's good.
Wait, is that real? Is that real?
Yeah. Three Gabriels didn't get picked from Arsenal.
None of them got picked.
You're an absolute disgrace. You're a cheat.
Wait, why did they do that to you?
But KG, they will sit there and say, yeah, my boys need rest. They need to rest their legs. But they weren't playing anyways.
You're an absolute disgrace.
Oh, no, moderation. That one is crazy.
Saint says Zaha is levels above Sancho, but because he doesn't play for England, same with Saint Maximan, it's English bias. Chukwumba says a shortcoming of Sancho is his decisiveness. Lil Yo-Yo says Shaw's been at Man United for too long. Digestive. I'm just naming digestive.
Biscuit. It's called
biscuit. Yeah, I thought he was saying something about likes eating them, but I wasn't going down that route. You know, it's rude. Anthony says, Shaw, Jones, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, World Cup winning defense. Come on. And WJ Barrett says, hey, KG, what does Chino call Luke Shaw?
I don't know, but it's not nice. Nah, he's causing my madness, but I can't say it. We'll lose all monetization. It's really bad.
Okay. Well, we'll quickly move on then. Very quickly as we wrap things up. Be sure to smash a like on the like button, guys. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Plenty of content coming soon. We'll be back very soon. Have a good one. Peace.